think things like this go on in the hair and beauty community way too often, and this is just one instance of it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelique, also known as aDelores. Dolores. A couple months back, I found this article on Twitter. I think it went viral. That's probably how I found it. And it talked about how hair dyes that are made for black women have way more chemicals that are extremely dangerous and are known to cause cancer and disrupt the reproductive system and the hormonal systems compared to the chemicals that are in products for white women. I kind of wondered what is so different about what's in the products that are marketed towards black women and the hair dye products that are marketed towards white women. Like what's in it? Like what is causing this huge disparity that is putting black women at risk? That concerns me as a woman who loves hair color. I used to dye my hair. I dyed it brown, I dyed it blonde. That went wrong, so I dyed it again. I dyed it jet black. My hair was red at one point. It faded to this orange. I tried to dye it purple, but it came out pink. I went through a lot. Now I'm a fan of wigs and colored braids and stuff, just because hair dye is a lot of maintenance. I didn't stop dyeing my hair because of this article. I stopped dyeing my hair a long time ago. I just recently cut off the last bits of color that were in my hair. But there is still a population of people that dye their hair on a consistent basis. And I'm talking specifically about permanent hair color. I'm talking about the women who use permanent hair dyes. So people who pick up a box dye and want to dye their grays that are growing out and dye their hair black. Or people who just want to dye their hair and they have to consistently dye their roots as it grows out. This population is who this video is for. Also, hairstylists, black women that are dyeing other black women's hair that are exposed to the chemicals on a consistent basis. This video is for you. We're just gonna talk about some of my concerns, all of that good stuff. I did extensive research, okay? I have my notes with my Google document to the right of me, and I have some notes on my phone in case I forget, because once I start talking, I get a little sidetracked. There should be clear warnings. Hair dye, cancer risk, strokes fear in black women. So the article is written by Nina Lakina, and it was published January 9th of 2020. Nina Lakini, she interviews this woman named Priscilla Graves. She works at a African braiding salon in Harlem, and she works with black women specifically who want to get their hair dyed and who want to get their hair chemically straightened. When she's exposed to these products and she's been using this product, she gets dizzy, she gets headaches, she has difficulty breathing, and she gets nauseous from just using these products on basically probably a daily basis. A new landmark study that tracked almost 47,000 American women over 8 years has found that using permanent hair dye increases a black woman's risk of breast cancer by 45% compared to an increased risk of 7% in white women. 47% compared to 7%? Red flag. Okay. Several studies suggest that cosmetic products specifically designed for use by black women and children contain more chemicals that disrupt the endocrine or hormonal system than products aimed at white women. Disrupting the endocrine system, which regulates reproduction, metabolism, sleep, tissue function, and growth and development, can cause cancerous tumors, birth defects, reproductive problems, and developmental and neurological disorders. What's in our products that are for black women, that are so different, that are putting us at such a greater risk? So that's where I started my research. I picked box dye because that's personally what I use. I know professionals in salons and stuff don't use box dye, but I know a lot of the chemicals in it are similar. So I picked two box dye brands. One brand that is known by black women, a brand that I've known for a long time, that I personally probably have used their box dye. And I also chose a brand that is it's catered to white women, that's marketed towards white women. I know there's probably brands that are safer to use than the ones that I chose, but I just chose some household names of box dyes that everybody would know. I also want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. This is not a video to talk about how hair dye is bad. We know hair dye is bad. It's filled with chemicals. We know bleach is bad. We know things that strip your hair of its natural things are bad. I'm not saying that hair dye isn't bad, and there has to be a reason that there's scientific evidence that black women are at greater risk of getting cancer from exposure to hair dye. So I know hair dye is bad. It's not like I'm anti-chemical. I wear makeup. Sometimes I get my nails done. But I just want to know. I want some answers. This is more of a awareness video. I chose Dark and Lovely as my black marketed hair dye brand because Dark and Lovely is it's a household name. I feel like you can go up to any black woman and they could tell you, oh, I know what Dark and Lovely is. Like, it's a very popular, in my opinion, a very well-known popular brand for black products. Dark and Lovely is owned by L'Oreal Company, which is a huge hair product manufacturer that makes a lot of products for white women as well. So that was something interesting I didn't know. And then for the white marketed box dye, I chose Garnier Fructis. They're also a household name that I feel like even black women know what Garnier Fructis is. For each box dye brand, I chose the lightest shade. So for Dark and Lovely, the lightest shade I believe is Luminous Blonde. And for Garnier Fructis, the lightest shade is Platinum Blonde. So my research process was to research the ingredients, put both the ingredients of, my nails are horrendous. I have not gotten a chance to get to a nail salon, neither has anybody else, so don't judge me. So I put both the Dark and Lovely and the Garnier Fructis side by side, their ingredients, and my plan was to ignore all the ingredients that both products had in common, because if they both have them in common, to me, it's like an equal risk of exposure to chemicals. So they kind of cancel each other out. So I ignored those ingredients and I was only looking at the ingredients that were different between the two brands. Let me break down finding the ingredients because this was a red flag for me. Let me start with Garnier Fructis. So I went online, I just googled Garnier Fructis, I found the hair dye that I wanted to look into the ingredients to, and I went directly to the website and the ingredients were laid out, boom, 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 boom. So you know a box dye usually comes with like 3 or 4 things in the box. It's usually like the bleach or like the lightening cream and like the actual color and like a conditioner. So all 4 of those products were listed on Garnier Fructis' website, and it nicely broke it down as to what ingredient is in which. So Garnier Fructis it comes with a ultra bleaching powder, an ultra developer cream, an ultra lightening cream, and a conditioner. For the purposes of this research, I ignored the conditioner because generally when you think about a conditioner, it doesn't really have any harsh chemicals in it. It's putting good things, positive things into your hair. So I took out the conditioner, and for Garnier Fructis, we were left with a total of 49 ingredients across the 3 products that are necessary for hair dye. Conditioner is not necessary for hair dye because you can swap it out with any conditioner. So Garnier Fructis, I really appreciate their openness and their transparency when it comes to telling us what's in their products. I think that's important to know when you're buying something. So I really like that. Everything was broken down nicely. It was easy, 1, 2, 3, Google, boom, boom. So I copied and pasted all those ingredients into a Google document. Now we're moving back to Dark and Lovely. This is where the issue for me was. So I went on Dark and Lovely's website, right? And I found the box dye that I wanted to look at. And I found the ingredients, where the ingredients were listed. And I noticed that there were only 18 ingredients listed. So in my head, I'm like, this is a little weird because Garnier Fructis has 49, not including the conditioner, which makes it like 65 or something. But Dark and Lovely is claiming that their entire box dye, it also has 4 different components to it, is made up of 18 ingredients and 18 ingredients only. That didn't make any sense to me. Something made me look at those ingredients and compare it to the conditioner that I took out from the Garnier Fructis, and I started to realize that a lot of the ingredients from Dark and Lovely's website and the conditioner that I took out from Garnier Fructis started to match up. So I was like, something led me to believe that these are the ingredients for the conditioner in the box dye only. So I did some more research and I went on Dark and Lovely's website and I just looked up the ingredients of a random conditioner that they have on their website, and I looked up those ingredients. This is the ingredients listed on the Dark and Lovely website. All 18 of them. The blue words are the ones that matched up with that of a conditioner from Dark and Lovely. So this leads me to believe that the ingredients on Dark and Lovely's website are only for the conditioner. Only. That's a red flag to me because, like I said, conditioners are generally putting good things into your hair. It's generally a positive, helping product for your hair, for the health of your hair. I feel like that's a red flag because they're excluding the harsh chemicals that I want to know about from their website, that they're excluding information. So it's like, what is the reason that you're excluding information for? So I had to go outside of Dark and Lovely's website and I had to go on Sally's website and get the actual full ingredient list from Sally's. Sally's didn't have it really listed out where like it told you each ingredient of each product. So from Sally's website, there is a total of 61 ingredients in the box dye altogether. So assuming that 18 of those are from the conditioner alone, we're left with about 40, I think it's 45 or 49, I did the math somewhere, ingredients left in Dark and Lovely. I use this website called CosDNA. It's a website where you can look up virtually any ingredient and it'll tell you information about the ingredient, and it'll give you a scale, a safety scale on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the safest, it's safe to use on your skin or whatever it's used for, and 10 being like, you should not be around this ingredient. So that's what I like about it. I use CosDNA for that. So I took Garnier Fructis's products, I went through the ones that were not in Dark and Lovely. The ones that are highlighted green are safety of 1 through 4, anything below 5. So anything that's green is generally safe to use. There can be some risk with it as you move closer to 4 and 5, like skin irritation or like possible reactions, but generally they're safe to use. Then we have some products that are purpled out, and what the purple means is that there's an unknown safety, but generally if it's unknown, it's usually ranging from a safety of between 1 to 3. And we have the ingredients that are in burgundy. So the ingredients that are in burgundy are anything that's a safety above 5. So Garnier Fructis has 2 ingredients that are above a safety of 5. Moving on to Dark and Lovely. I did the same thing. All the products that are in green that you see are products that are safety below 5, so 1 through 4. And the products that are purple, they're unknown, but they're usually ranging around a safety of 1 through 3. The burgundy ones are a safety of 5, between 5 and 6. And then you'll see another bright red color, which are safeties above 6. So the burgundy color, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 ingredients that are between a safety of 5 and 6. That's concerning, but it's not super dangerous at the end of the day. Usually these types of ingredients, the most they do, or they can be irritating to the eyes or they can be irritating to the skin. A couple of them have been deemed safe to use in hair dye, and they're usually pigments. I think 2 out of 3 of them are pigments, so it's the color itself. We have 6 ingredients that are bright red, meaning 6 ingredients that are above a safety of 6. There's no ingredients in Garnier Fructis that are above a safety of 6. This has 6 ingredients that are a safety above a 6. So out of the 6 ingredients that are dangerous in the Dark and Lovely, 3 of them are parabens. All 3 of them have a safety of 7. So I did some research on what a paraben is and why it presents a risk. So I'll list the resource where I got this from in the description down below. If you guys want to read this little bit of information on what a paraben is. So parabens are a group of chemicals widely used as artificial preservatives in cosmetic and beauty care products since the 1920s. Since chemicals contain ingredients that can biodegrade, these chemicals are added to prevent and reduce growth of harmful bacteria and molds, increasing the shelf life of the product. The concern with these chemicals is that scientific studies suggest that parabens can disrupt hormones in the body and harm fertility and reproductive organs, affect birth outcomes, and increase the risk of cancer. They can also cause skin irritation. This ties us right back to the article that I talked about in the beginning, where it talks about how products in black hair dyes can affect the reproductive system, the endocrine system, can mess with your hormones. These are the ingredients that are adding to it, are these parabens that are in black women's hair dye. So that's 3 of the 6 that are in the red, dangerous, super dangerous zone. 2 of them, they're also like variations of each other. I'll list the names of them. They're a safety of 6 and 7. They're pigments, and they are allegedly deemed safe for hair dye use. So I didn't look too deep into those. And then the last ingredient that is a safety risk of 8. This was the highest safety risk of all of the ingredients listed in the Dark and Lovely. It is also a preservative, just like our parabens, but it's not a paraben. It's a different type of preservative. This is a little bit crazy. When I first read it, I was like, huh? Resveratrol is used in the rubber industry. It is used for the production of tires. It is restricted in all types, shape, form in Japan. It is a skin irritant, and it's a possible endocrine disruptor, which ties us right back to the article about the hormones and the endocrine system, the reproductive system, and this is in our hair dye. I wondered why Dark and Lovely was able to get away with not listing all the ingredients on Dark and Lovely's website. So I wondered, like, who regulates this stuff? Who deems, like, you have to list this, this, and this, or like you can get away without listing this. So I looked into like the FDA regulations, and the article also talked about it, so I'm just going to pull this directly from the article. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, is not required to approve or review the safety of cosmetic products and ingredients other than color additives. In fact, participation in many FDA regulatory mechanisms, such as product registration and recall, is completely voluntary for manufacturers. Manufacturers are not federally required to list ingredients on professional salon products. In the EU, at least 1,300 chemicals are banned or restricted in cosmetics, such as shampoos, soaps, dyes, and nail polish, while the U.S. has only outlawed or curbed 11. So the EU decided there's 1,300 chemicals that are being used in soaps, hair dyes, nail polish products that should be banned, that are harmful to our people. The United States only found 11 of those to be concerning enough to put a ban on. That is a huge difference. 11 compared to 1,300. I don't know what's going on here. Before I end this video, I want to say, take this information with a grain of salt. I'm not a hair researcher, scientist, but it's like the information is right there. Dark and Lovely chose to exclude information on their website for a reason. I did a side-by-side comparison. I know it's not comparing every single hair dye brand out there, but it's a significant difference of the amount of dangerous products in the Dark and Lovely brand, a brand marketed towards black women, compared to the Garnier Fructis brand that's marketed clearly towards white women. So I feel like things like this are happening with so many of our beauty products on a daily basis, and we have no idea, because no one's going to sit there and research like what these products are doing to us, to our people. I find this kind of stuff interesting, which is why I did the research. Things like this are concerning to me, because what of the things that I'm buying are just being overlooked and just pushed out, and it's supposed to be my responsibility to look up if they're safe or not, instead of people telling me. There should be way more FDA regulations on the labeling and the warnings on hair dye and hair products about the harmful ingredients that are in them. And the FDA does not do this. The manufacturers say, well, if the FDA doesn't do it, then why should we? So it's on us to really do the research. If you're among the population of people that use permanent hair dye on an ongoing basis, they say you can reduce your risk by dyeing your hair on a less frequent basis or changing the method in which you're applying. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed putting the work into it. If there's any other products out there that you've heard negative things about, or like you've seen an article about like products that have unhealthy ingredients in, and you guys want me to do research, please let me know. I don't mind doing something like this again. So if you guys have any questions, y'all have any suggestions, just, you know, slide them to me. But other than that, you guys, thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see y'all in the streets.
Oh, so we in the video.